Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. We are in France and we are at the Lac de Laved Gelade. I hope I've said that correct. And we have just travelled about 5 hours to get here. So I'm feeling a little bit tired, but I'm so excited to be in this beautiful location. It is so quiet and so peaceful here that when we got out of the van, we were quite shocked at how quiet and silent it is. So this yoga class is going to tap into that silence and stillness, but within ourselves. And I want us to focus on a delicate breath throughout this class, a way that we can guide ourselves away from the chatter and constant noise that happens within our lives, and how we can always guide ourselves back to this stillness within us. So I want you to try and come back to that throughout the class. We're going to practice it before we start moving our bodies. This is going to be a really good class to always come back to. It's not going to be anything too strenuous or difficult, but it's going to move our bodies in all the most natural ways. So yeah, a really good class to start this series off with, and let's get started. So find a comfortable seat. You can be sitting on a block or a pillow. You can find a half lotus and just rest your hands on top of your knees. Roll the shoulders down away from the ears. Sit up nice and tall. And you can softly close the eyes or take a soft gaze out in front of you. And just try and slightly lift the chin away from the chest. Drop the shoulders away from the ears. And just settle into your sit bones. Feel the ground beneath you. And we're just going to start by taking some really slow breaths in and out of the nose. Really delicate breaths. Super soft. Really soft in and out of the nose. And I want you to try and find that part within you that is still and quiet behind the chatter. And it's okay if you have thoughts that come into your mind. Just acknowledge them and let them go past. And then you'll probably find another thought pops up. But always try and bring that awareness back to that silent, still part behind that noise, behind that thought. Really soft breaths in and out of your nose. Now just start to deepen your breath. This doesn't have to be a forceful breath either. It's still really soft, but just longer, deeper breaths. And if you have the eyes closed, you can softly blink them open. So we'll take a deep inhale, bring the arms up and overhead, look towards the hands. Interlace the hands, flip the hands towards the sky. Maybe take a slight back bend here, bring the arms back behind. Come back to a neutral spine, take an inhale. Exhale, lean over to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, bring the arms behind you, interlace the hands again, roll the shoulders back, try and pull the palms of the hands together, slight back bend. Lift the chin away from the chest. As you exhale, release the hands, bring your hands to give yourself a big hug, bring the chin towards the spine, round the spine. Inhale, come back to center, bring the left hand to the outside of the right knee. Start to twist to the right and maybe wrap the right arm around, reaching for the inside of the left thigh. Take the gaze over behind you. Pull the belly button in towards the spine. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's just switch sides. Right hand to the outside of the left knee. Left arm comes behind, reaching for the inside of the right thigh. Inhale. Exhale, come back to center. We're going to move just to seat. So I'm just going to move this way. Extend both legs out long. Point the toes towards the sky. Inhale, arms come up and overhead. Look towards your hands. Exhale, lean forwards with the hands. And then release into your forward fold. Exhale. So where we hold these poses for a few rounds of breath, this is where you can practice that little exercise of coming back to the silence, the stillness behind the chatter. Maybe you want to close your eyes to help you guide your focus internally. With each exhale, let yourself fold a little bit deeper into the fold. One more round of breath here. Inhale, start to lift your chest. You're going to bring the soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana, butterfly fold. Interlace the hands, bring them underneath the feet, pull the knees away from each other. Take an inhale. As you exhale, start to fold and lever the chest forwards. On your next inhale, start to lift the chest. Come onto all fours, hands underneath the shoulders, knees under hips. A couple rounds of cat-cow. As you inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest. Just keep moving between your cat and cow. Try and connect your breath with your movement. Just going to tie my hair. Come back to a neutral spine, take a step forwards with the hands, take an inhale, exhale, drop the chest down for puppy pose, sinking the heart space down towards your mat. Try and sink the center of your chest down before your chin reaches the mat to bring the stretch deep into the shoulders. Start to push into the forearms. We're going to ripple the spine all the way to Sphinx pose. Lower the hips, shine the chest between the shoulders. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower the chest. We're going to bring our right arm to a 45-degree angle. Start to pull the left heel in towards the left glute. Right hand's going to reach around to grab the foot. Maybe you can roll your hand over the foot and point the left elbow towards the sky. Try and roll the left hip down. Bit of a quad stretch here. And also pulls it into the shoulder as well, bringing your arm in this position. Let's switch sides, release the left foot, bring the left forearm to a 45-degree angle, bend into the right leg, reach around with the right hand, maybe pull the right elbow towards the sky, push the right hip into the mat. And then releasing the foot, bring your forearms back to Sphinx. Maybe extend the arms to a seal pose, and maybe you want to walk your hands in towards the hips slightly. Lift the chest. And exhale, release down. Tuck the toes. We're going to push up to our first downward facing dog. Push the hips up and back. Couple of moments to pedal into the feet. Feel the length down the spine. Try and push the belly towards the thighs. Finding some stillness in downward facing dog. I'm going to pull the right knee in towards the chest, and then we're going to release the right knee to the center between our foot and our hand. Bring the foot out to a 90-degree angle. Open the left arm up to the sky and overhead. Big side body stretch. Roll the left shoulder back, look towards the sky. And then we're going to come to our gate pose. So use the strength of the core to lift yourself up. Left hand travels down the left leg, right arm comes up and over. Take an inhale. Exhale, windmill the hands all the way down to the front of the mat. Come back to center, hug the right knee in towards the chest. And then we're going to step the right foot to the outside edge of the right hand. Lizard lunge. Take a couple moments, maybe rock back and forth, feel into your hips. And then we're going to lower the left knee down, untuck the left toes. Staying here, or you can come down onto your forearms. And we're going to hold this for just a few rounds of breath. So again, reminding ourselves if our mind is starting to chatter away, just come back to those really delicate breaths in and out of your nose. Maybe close the eyes. Just take one more round of breath here. On your next inhale, you're going to come up onto the hands. Our right arm is going to reach forwards. Start to windmill it round to reach the back of your space. Start to bend into the left foot. Maybe you catch a hold of the foot with the hand. If you have the foot, you can start to lean forwards, feeling the stretch in the left quads. Release the left foot, bring the right arm back around to the inside of the right foot. We'll come back to all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Hug the left knee in towards the chest, lower it down between the foot and the hand. Open it up to 90 degrees and then open to your side body stretch. Inhale, start to lift the right arm, release into gate pose, left arm stretches towards the right side. Take an inhale. Exhale, left hand and right hand come back to the top of your mat. Come back to center, hug the left knee in towards the chest. Step the left foot to the outside of the left hand. Take a couple moments to rock back and forth, feel into the hips. And then we're going to release the right knee down, untuck the right toes, staying up on the hands, or you can release onto the forearms. Couple rounds of breath. Take one more round of breath. On your next inhale, come back up onto the hands. Stretch the left arm forwards, back and round to the back of your mat. Bend into the right leg, maybe catch a hold of the foot. Sink the hips down and forwards. And releasing the foot, bring the left hand back to the front. Come back to all fours, tuck the toes, push the hips up and back down when facing dog. I'm just going to release both knees down onto the mat, come to stand up on the shins. We're going to move to camel pose, so bringing the hands to the lower back, fingertips face towards the glutes, roll the elbows towards each other. Start to lean the hips forwards, lean back with the chest. Maybe staying here, or you can drop the hands down to the ankles. Try and push your hips forwards a little bit more. And if you've dropped the hands to the ankles, bring them back to the lower back. Come back to center, lower the hips down, coming to child's pose. Bring the knees together, just bring the forehead down in front of you. Arms rest either side of the body. And start to lift the forehead and the chest. Just bring the feet either side so you can come to sit. Scoot forwards because we're going to come down onto our backs. Hands either side and just gently lower yourself down onto your back. We're going to hug both knees in towards the chest. And then hands on either knee, we're going to open the knees apart from each other. And just take some circles with the knees here, moving in one direction. And swap it out in the other direction. Bring the knees back together and we're going to release our arms into a T. And then just let the knees fall to the right side. Lift your head and look over to the left. Try and release the left ear down to the mat. Maybe close the eyes. And just let yourself soften into this position. We're not forcing anything in our bodies here. Just a real gentle stretch. And inhale, come back to center. Gonna just switch sides to let the knees drop to the left. Lift the head and look over to the right. Lower the right side of the face down. On your next inhale, come back to center. We're just going to land in Shavasana here, so take any final adjustments of movements you wish to take. Make sure there's nothing obstructing the body. If you want to undo your hair, and just let your arms rest either side of you, palms facing open. Let the feet fall away from each other naturally. A final resting pose. And just take a little body scan here. Notice if you're holding any tension in any parts of your body. And just relax into it. Just try and remain as still as you can. Trying to create that through line of stillness in our physical body that can be transposed to stillness in our mind. And how we can lay here like we're asleep, but be aware and conscious of our thoughts. And how we can guide them and direct them and try and bring our awareness back to that stillness. You can start to slowly bring some awareness back to your body by wiggling your fingers and your toes. Bring your feet together, and as you inhale, bring your arms up and overhead. Point into the toes. And hug the knees in towards the chest. Gently rock onto one side, cradle the head. And then really slowly and mindfully make your way up to a seated position. Try and keep your eyes closed in your transition. Cross the legs. Rest your hands on top of the knees. And let's just take a few moments to practice that breath one more time. Just really soft, delicate breaths in and out of the nose. And just notice the difference in how you feel now compared to how you started the class. You can bring your hands to the center of the heart space. And you can softly blink the eyes open. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this yoga practice. I really hope that you can feel the benefits of practicing this really soft and delicate breath that can help you find this neutral within yourself. Just know this practice will be here for whenever you need it, and you can practice it whenever you need it. So yeah, thank you for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day, whatever you're doing. Namaste.